I'm Claire Rosamond, clinical psychologist, certified emotionally focused therapy trainer, and director of the Australian Centre for Emotionally Focused Therapy. It's great to be back with you for another video. Today, I wanted to talk with you about how we can, as EFT therapists, best support our heartbroken clients who are struggling with the loss of important relationships. These might be romantic relationships, friendships, or family relationships that have changed or ended. And this could be for many reasons, leaving someone feeling really heartbroken and confused and lost, and maybe feeling rejected or betrayed as well. Or it could be that their relationship with someone special might have been reconfigured or changed in structure, and it could even have been mutual. For instance, moving from a romantic partner to a friend or a co-parent. And while this resolution might have been amicable, we know that no matter how someone loses a special relationship, it will be inevitably painful and often excruciating. So, given all we know about the power of loving attachments and our very human need for close relational bonds, it makes perfect sense then that when a bond is ruptured or undone, it will be extremely difficult to manage and it'll hurt a lot, and the road to recovery will be very bumpy. So, as EFT therapists, with our grounding in attachment science and our trust in the innate wisdom of emotion, I think we're perfectly placed to assist people through the painful work of processing the big emotions that come with the loss of an attachment bond. In this way, we can really be a hand to hold in the dark, knowing that safe human connection helps to shrink the load of pain and that it offers co regulation as people find their way through this really difficult and painful time. Actually, this is really what prompted me to write my book, An Emotionally Focused Guide to Relationship Loss, Life After Love. I wrote it to offer support for people grieving the loss of an important relationship. I wanted to help people to learn more about attachment, to become more aware of how they show up in close relationships, and to heal from this loss moving forward. My hope really is that people can process their pain and learn from their suffering, that they can treat themselves with kindness as they heal, and that they can earn security with themselves and others moving forward into their next loving relationship. So, I wanted to share with you some of what I discovered in writing this book. Firstly, I think attachment theory gives us the most validating model for being with people as they face the wreckage of lost love. Attachment theory provides us with a way of holding space for our heartbroken clients that really normalizes the need for loving connection and validates the pain of loss, whilst also building insight into the learnings that we all take from our close relationships, from our earliest attachment bonds with caregivers in childhood to each of our adult relationships throughout our life. So I think we can use attachment theory to build hope about building security with self and others moving forward. And from this perspective, we don't try to hurry someone through their recovery. We make space for their pain and honor the emotion as a natural consequence of loving deeply. We reframe the loss as honoring the love, and we normalize the need for connection and the understandable pain of disconnection. Secondly, we help people to learn about healthy attachment, what healthy attachment figures look like, and what coping strategies they might have learned from their past relationships. And we help people to understand how they might have learned to regulate their emotions and manage their attachment needs in close relationships. We help people identify their attachment or coping strategies and to manage the big questions that will come up around: how will I ever love again? Am I worthy of love? Can I ever trust someone again? And importantly, we help them to reflect on what was missing for them on an attachment level so that they know what to look out for and how to clearly signal their needs in their next close relationship. I think helping people to learn about their attachment strategies is a key part of the growth that can happen after a loss. This is extremely helpful for building someone's insight into how they show up in close relationships. This can then lead to a greater understanding about how partners can become caught in negative interactional patterns or cycles that create insecurity in the bond. This is another way that EFT can really help people recovering from loss. It can help people to see how their signals might have become scrambled in their lost relationship so that the other person was unclear about their needs or might have been blocked from being responsive. It validates why someone might have felt constantly triggered or emotionally unsafe in their lost relationship. And it can build hope that if you know why it went wrong and you can be clearer about your own role in it, even if that was small, then you're armed with some knowledge and knowledge that you can take into your next relationship so that you can hopefully create more healthy patterns that build attachment security moving forward. In this way, we can really empower people to grow from their suffering. So not only can we help people to process the pain of loss and get clear about their attachment needs and how they've learned to signal them in the past, we can help people to build security with themselves so that they can get better at regulating their own emotions and can learn to tune into the wisdom of their inner world and use what they find there to guide their direction in life. A time of loss can be a powerful opportunity for growth from suffering through this kind of self-reflection and connection with the self, and through getting clearer about your needs moving forward. Of course, this process can take a bit of time and the path can really vary for people. So as EFT therapists who are informed by attachment science, we have a model for processing separation and loss that Bowlby identified that can help us to support and guide our heartbroken clients. Bowlby identified 4 phases of loss that I want to share with you. The first is numbing, which is where we might protect ourselves from the enormity of the pain by distancing ourselves from the reality of the loss. The second is yearning and searching, which he also called protest, which is where we protest the loss by searching for the lost love and attempting to reestablish the connection, even if we know it's futile. So this might look like trying to reach out to the other, searching for answers, ruminating over what went wrong, turning to the other for soothing, all when you know that they can't be the one you turn to any longer. The third is disorganization and despair, which is when we fully accept the reality of the loss and we sink into deep sadness. This realization brings with it enormous pain and disruption as you struggle to process the enormity of the feelings of loss and struggle to maintain your life without the other in it. It's like your whole world is turned upside down and nothing can ever be the same again. The fourth and final phase is reorganization and detachment. So this is where someone can step back from the pain and can reorganize and adjust to their life without the other. This is when Bowlby believed the key tasks of grief were really complete. So he defined this as when someone can accept that a loss has happened and they can reorganize their inner world and their outer life accordingly. So we can support our heartbroken clients through this process, knowing that each person will take their own path and that grief is definitely not linear. We can be sensitive to cultural learnings and practices about the expression of grief, and we can walk alongside our clients as they process their pain. We can use our knowledge of attachment theory to explore how a person's attachment strategy might impact how they express their emotions in relation to loss and how their recovery might be impacted as a result. We know that there are 2 key tasks of grief. The first is attending to the emotional work of feeling the feelings in order to process the loss. And the second is attending to the practical work of adjusting your day-to-day life without this person. Naturally, people tend to differ in which of these tasks they find easier, and we can be there to support them in attending to the one they might struggle with a bit more, to ensure that they're able to best process the loss so that any learnings can be extracted from it for growth. As we walk with people as they process their loss and grief, our hope is that they can achieve a clearer sense of their own relational needs and how to signal them clearly, an awareness of their own defensive coping strategies that can block connection and blur the signals in close relationships. We want to help them develop more flexible ways of seeing themselves and their humanity, as well as more flexible ways of seeing potential partners and spotting signs of security in them. And we really want to help people develop a deeper understanding of relational cycles and patterns that can threaten growing security. And this is also that they can build many secure attachments with those who matter most in their life so that they have comfort and encouragement in times of need, because we all need that. Finally, we want to help our heartbroken clients to create a healing survival narrative around this loss of how I loved, how I lost, and how I've grown stronger. We want to help our clients to not merely survive this loss, but to flourish. So if you'd like more information on the concepts I've covered today, please check out my book, An Emotionally Focused Guide to Relationship Loss, Life After Love, which can be found at all major booksellers. And I hope that you're able to be there with your heartbroken clients to help them to heal and flourish too. Thanks for being here with me. See you next time.